Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Meredith Phillips and we are continuing to revise my draft 1 into a draft 2 of a Regency romance. I've had a successful week and a frustrating week in terms of revision. So real quick, a little recap for you. On Monday, oh my gosh, what was Monday? Like the 20th or something like that. Monday, I finished revising through the end of Act 1, which was great. It went pretty smoothly, I think, overall. There weren't like any major changes. I wasn't like deleting entire scenes and like, I did add one new scene, but it wasn't anything too crazy. On Tuesday, my original plan was to sit down and read through the entire act as one piece and see how it sounded. And I did do that, but I actually ended up using the speech tool in Scrivener to have it read it to me, which I've never done before. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but that's what I did. It did help me catch a few random typos, so that was nice. And it was good. I thought the act flowed pretty well. And the voice generated whatever it is it sounds so stupid, like it's very robotic sounding. And one of the other things that was hilarious with it is a lot of my, not a lot, but like every now and then my sentence will end in like my lord or my lady because it's Regency times or whatever. Whenever the speech tool would read my lord, instead of it sounding very like reverent and respectful, it ended up sounding like it was saying, my lord, ugh. So I was like laughing every time we got to one of those. Anyway, yeah, I thought it sounded pretty good. And so on Wednesday, I ended up sending chapter 1 to my critique partners. So that's been really fun. I've enjoyed getting to send them stuff again, and they've sent feedback already, and I'm just excited. I like getting their feedback so much. It just makes it's so good. It's so much better if you have somebody else look at it and be like, what is this about? Why? Huh? Already got good notes on chapters 1 and 2, and I'm just kind of sending them chapters on an irregular basis. But now the pressure's on because I don't want them to catch up in terms of reading and critiquing to where I am currently revising. So on Thursday, I started looking through the first couple chapters of Act 2. And I've been working on it for the last 2 days. The first chapter there was okay, but I was like, it kind of ended abruptly, and so I wanted to fiddle with the ending a little bit. I also needed to work out some of the character motivations and like what is their plan moving forward. That's been weirdly tricky, trying to weave in and change certain things so that it fits with this new way of going forward. Then the second and third chapters in Act 2 are the chapters that originally took place in Vauxhall Gardens, which we realized way too late that Vauxhall is not open until May and my story starts in February. Who wants to go at night outside in London in February? Like, it's probably a little chilly. That's why it wasn't open that early. Duh, Meredith. I should have known that. I should have thought of that when I was outlining, frankly, but I didn't. So I've been trying to retool those 2 chapters. There's 2 chapters that take place at Vauxhall, and so I've had to retool it. I decided to instead move it to the opera. We're going to the opera, which is fun. I love the opera, so that's been exciting to research what would they have seen in 1811. I've also found entirely too much information in the best way possible on Covent Garden and what the theater looked like at the time. The current theater in Covent Garden is newer. It was built in the 1850s. The old one burned down, as things in London are wont to do. And so the one that they would have gone to is different than the current one. And so I found floor plans and artists' renderings of what it would have looked like and all this kind of stuff, and detailed descriptions of how, all the decoration and all that kind of stuff. So I've been enjoying reading about that. Maybe too much because I've spent a lot of time looking at some of these pages. And then of course I had to research what opera would they have seen? Most of the operas that I really like are later. They're later in the 1800s, early 1900s kind of stuff. I don't really love a lot of the classical music that would have been present during the Regency. It's Mozart and Beethoven and Bach, and I'm meh. I'm not listening to Bach on a regular basis. Okay, they did have Vivaldi, but anyway, there I found an opera, a Mozart opera that was considered so scandalous they didn't play it in England until like 20 years after it was written. And in 1811, which is when my story takes place, that was when they finally premiered this opera in London. Now, it premiered in May. The story is taking place in February, but I was like, we're gonna fudge that a little bit. I'm pretty sure nobody knows when this opera, don't make me say it, it's in Italian, but nobody's gonna be like, actually, that premiered in 1811 in May. So that's fine. It's fine. The story is absolutely bonkers. I'll link the Wikipedia page if you want to just read like a quick summary of what's going on. It's just like, Mozart, are you okay, my guy? Like, what are you, really? Okay. All right. I'm not having to rewrite these chapters 100%, but I am having to do a lot of rewriting. And it's just, the first pass through them has been super clunky, and it's taken me a long time. Because there's conversation from the original first draft that will still work. The conversation is still okay. It just needs to take place in a different place. So it's just been, I don't know, it's just been like really stagnated. And I'm Thursday, Friday, I'm like working. So I don't have a big block of time to really sit and sink into it completely. So I'm hoping today I can get through this second chapter taking place now at the opera and at least do one pass. My goal for this weekend, it's a 3-day weekend, by the way. 3-day weekend, Memorial Day. I have a lot to do this weekend. My goal for this weekend is to get these first 3 chapters of Act 2 in order. Like, let's fix them and be done with them. Okay, I feel like that's achievable because I think the rest of Act 2 is pretty solid. It does need updating and changing, of course, but I'm not like, there's not a scene where I'm like completely deleting it or moving the setting or adding something new. Like, it's pretty solid as is. We're kind of in like the fun and games section, which is really, it's fun. And so I think those are pretty solid. So I feel like once I get past these first 3 chapters in this act, the rest of it will flow pretty quickly and I'll be able to get into Act 3 hopefully within like a week or so. So yeah, 3-day weekend. I'm excited. I do have to do a big grocery run and I'm hoping I can hit a couple other stores and maybe take advantage of some sales for the Memorial Day sales that everyone has going on. But we'll get to all of that tomorrow or Monday. Today is going to be like 100% the writing day. Let me get everything pulled up over here. I've already got most of it pulled up. Can you see my diagrams? I'll put a thing on here. They're so cool. I love floor plans. Give me a floor plan of anything and I'm going to be like, ooh, yay. So yeah, let's see if we can get through this second chapter and do a pass through revision and see what we think. I just took out the SD card and checked that last clip and there was no scratchy, staticky audio. So hopefully this week we'll be okay. I was so annoyed last week looking at that footage. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. The first clip at least was good. So hopefully I fixed it. All right, let's get to work. Okay, I finished going through this second chapter that takes place now at the opera instead of Vauxhall. It's rough. I'll let you know that much. It was originally like 1,300 words. It's now 2,200 words. I absolutely need to go back through it and add some details, there's some awkward like transitions where I'm like, okay, anyway, now they're in the carriage and going home or whatever. So I need to add in some transition kind of stuff and just make it not like gross. It's just like gross sounding right now. It's fine. It's basically a first draft. I'll go back in and mess with this a little later, but it's exactly noon right now. So I'm going to grab lunch, which is just going to be leftovers. Fried rice leftovers though, so I'm excited about that. And then we'll come back to this and see what we can see about fixing it up. Delicious. 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 Lunch is over. I'm going to go back through these 2 chapters that take place at the opera. I think I really need to go back through and like take notes on them, how I did with the initial first draft chapters, because these chapters are so different than the like it's, I would say like 80% rewrite. maybe some of the conversation is the same, but a lot of the other stuff is not. So I might go through and do a little bit of note taking for myself. I'm actually really pleased with how the second chapter ends. There's a little bit more information you get about why the heroine is so interested in a particular thing. And in the original first draft, you don't get that why until the epilogue, which is a little late. It's a little late for that. So this felt good, having it come into the story a little earlier. I wasn't really planning for that either, but the way the conversation between the two of them went, it just sort of felt natural for him to ask about it. And there's no reason for her to keep it a secret. So anyway, it fit really well. Let me go through these, reread some stuff, take some notes, and then get to actually revising these. Okay, so instead of taking notes, I just fixed little like words. And I didn't do anything else. I think I need just like, maybe we'll come back to it tomorrow. Set it aside for a minute and like let it rest, and we'll do something with it tomorrow. I can move on to the next scene. I'm kind of tired. I don't know, maybe I need a break. I've been working since like 10 this morning and it's 1:30. That's not that long. I'm just tired. I don't know. Maybe I do need to do like a grocery list. So maybe I'll work on something else and come back to this mess in a few hours. How about that? Okay, we've done the grocery list. We've taken a little break. It's about 2:30. I'm gonna move on to the next chapter. I know I said my goal for the weekend was to work on those first 3 in the second act, but I just feel like I need just a little more space from it to be able to look at it objectively, or like slightly more objectively, and figure out what needs to be fixed. So I'm gonna leave those for the rest of today. I think move on to the next chapter. Fiddle with that. Let's go see what that chapter even is, because I don't remember. And then we'll work on fixing it up. Okay, in looking this chapter over, I don't have that many notes, and they're really brief. I have to weave in one of the like, almost like the promise of the premise essentially. I need to weave that in a little better. And then there's something that one of the characters is giving up, and there's not really any kind of how does this character feel about having to give this up, or he's choosing to give it up, but like it's not necessarily an easy choice. So how's he feeling about that? The ending, once again, abrupt kind of ending to the chapter, so we'll work on easing that a little bit, looping it better into the next chapter. Probably fixing up some prose. It's only about 2,100 words, so a little bit of research. Oh, I had some research I needed to do to make sure one reference was accurate, even though probably no one even cares or knows. Okay, so let's get to rereading and fiddling with all the little things in this chapter. All right, I'm almost done with this chapter. I'm struggling with the ending. I'm trying to think of a way to like lead it into the next one a little better, but we'll come back to it. We did some work, just little nitpicky things, nothing too crazy. But it's after 4 o'clock. My attention and focus is absolutely shot. So I'm gonna be done for today. We'll come back tomorrow and do some more revising at that point. But I'm gonna let this sit for the rest of today and tackle it again tomorrow. I'll see you then. Good morning from my living room that still has those blankets on the side. It's fine. It's a little bit later than I was anticipating it being. It's like 9:30, going on 10 o'clock. Oops. I was just taking my time. Not in a hurry for anything. I have a lot to do today, and it's supposed to be unreasonably warm outside. So here's the plan. I'm going to try to spend a couple hours this morning going over those pesky couple chapters in Act 2 that are giving me fits. It's just not quite right. It's not right. I know it's not right. I haven't quite figured out what's not right about it yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Hopefully. We'll figure something out at least. And hopefully get those into a little better shape today. I'm going to reread them. I didn't touch it at all for the rest of yesterday. So we'll go back in, see what we can do with it. Then I do want to go out and try to take advantage of some of those sales. I need to go to the pet store, pick up more pet supplies. I feel like I should go to Macy's where I have a gift card to. I don't want to. Like, can someone just give me the clothes? Like, I'll pay for them. But, like, going and you have to take, like, 3 sizes into the dressing room because who knows what size you're supposed to be because they're also arbitrary. But I really need some new stuff. I haven't done very much clothes shopping, like, in the entire time we've lived here. And we moved here in September of 2019. I've bought, like, a few random, like, oh, I need a new pair of jeans. And I went and got a new pair of jeans. Or, like, I don't remember. Like, I've gone for really specific stuff. And I do need, I don't know. That doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm going to try to force myself to go to the store for that. And then I need to go to the grocery store at some point. I think I'm going to try to save that for a little later this evening, hopefully when it's a little cooler, because groceries in a hot car, not so great. Or we could save the grocery shopping for tomorrow, because I do have tomorrow off. Or we could save like the pet store clothing shopping for tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe we'll save one of those for tomorrow. I'm not sure which. We'll figure it out. For now, let's go ahead and get all of the writing stuff pulled up, do some rereading, and then hopefully figure out what exactly needs to be fixed. Let's go. All right, Covent Garden, we're back here, pulled that back up again. There's one element that I know I'm doing more telling than showing, and I need to find other ways to show it, but it's tough. It's like little one-liner kind of moments that need to happen. It's not like whole scenes or whole episodes, you know, some long drawn out kind of series of events or something. It's very small, and so it has to fit in like the right way. It can't, I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out like where to sprinkle these little these little pieces in so that it builds and makes sense. It's tricky. It's tricky. So it's 9:45. Let me just reread these scenes here. I think maybe we'll just start at the beginning of Act 2. These first 3 scenes of Act 2 are not right. So let's see if I can help myself out here a little bit. All right, I've gone through these 3 chapters multiple times. I've added some little details. They're better, I think. I'm at the point where I can't decide if I'm just adding more stuff to add more stuff, or if it's actually doing anything to like improve the characters or reinforce their character arcs in some way. So I'll definitely keep coming back to these and keep kind of poking at it for a little while, but I think I'm going to move on. I think I'll probably benefit most from when my critique partners get to these and read them. And then a lot of times they'll be like, this didn't work. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Yep, that's it. So yeah, just another shout out. If you don't have a critique partner, they can be super helpful. The critique partner matchup is still going on. If you want to check that out, I'll link that video in the description for you if you don't know what that is. But yeah, it's almost 11:30 now. So let's move on to the next chapter, which is Something. I started working on that one yesterday. Also, I found another way to potentially connect this series to my last series. We love a connection. It doesn't, let's not get into that. Okay, so this next scene, I need to still work out the ending. I added some stuff, but still didn't like finish it. This one I feel like reads better, but we're gonna go through it again and see if we can make it even better. So let's get to work on that, and maybe we'll get past this chapter today. All right, let's keep going. Okay, ending fixed, sort of. It's a little clunky, but like it's there. We just zhuzh it a little bit, but it's fine. I'm gonna take a break. It's almost 12:30. I need to eat lunch, and then I think I'm gonna go to the grocery store. It's currently 88 degrees. Feels like 98. Really looking forward to that. Supposed to get up to 96 this afternoon. We love it. We love it. So yeah, let me grab some food, take a little break, come back and keep working. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go on to the next scene after this. Maybe. The next scene is really fun. Woo! But yeah, this one I think overall was pretty solid. I really just added a few little details. I've only added maybe 250-ish words, not too much. But we are about halfway through Act 2, so that's not too bad. All right, break time, and then back to this. Hi. All right, it's Monday. I went to the store. I went to the grocery store yesterday and came home, and then I just didn't want to, I don't know. I was just like, meh. So I didn't vlog anything else, obviously, yesterday. I did poke at the chapters a little bit more, but nothing crazy. I went out to the pet store after a little while, and now I'm gonna try to hit up Macy's and another grocery store for like the one thing that Kroger didn't have yesterday. So anyway, let's go do that, and then I'm gonna go home and do some writing. Okay, we did pretty good in Macy's. I got 3 shirts for $13 a piece. I mean, that's pretty good. And I got a pair of pajama bottoms for like, I don't remember, $14. They were like Christmas. So they were on super sale. So anyway, that wasn't too bad. I didn't find a pant that I liked. I didn't find any kind of like crew neck sweatshirt kind of thing. Jade has torn so many holes in all of my ratty sweatshirts, and I was hoping maybe they would have like a, you know, it's obviously not winter, so super sale on one of those. I didn't find anything I liked, so, but I'm happy with those shirts. Good. All right, let me get to the grocery store, and then we'll go home. Okay, here we are back at the regular place. Sorry if you can hear my husband plinking around on his bass in the background, but I need to do something. I don't really remember where I even left off yesterday. Maybe go back to those first 3 chapters that I was supposed to finish. I feel like I've gotten some nice distance from them, so maybe I'll go back and look at those again. We're just bebopping all over the place this weekend, huh? Yeah, let me try rereading those first 3. Seeing if I can figure out, maybe go back to the last chapter or 2 in Act 1. See if maybe there's more setup that I need. That's a good little tip. If you're in a scene where something just seems off, go back to the one prior to it and see if there's something there that needs to fix so that the next chapters work. Big brain. Let's do that and see if that helps us. And see if we can accomplish this goal of getting these 3 chapters done over a 3-day weekend. Let's go. Okay, I've added more, perhaps unnecessary detail to the end of chapter 10. I didn't find anything that I felt like could help these first chapters of Act 2. But we added stuff anyway. Let me go through these 3 chapters again and see what I can find. If I go through them this time and I'm like, I just don't know, they're gonna go to the critique partners in the current state and see if they can figure out what the issue is. I've read through these 3 chapters like a million times. I've tweaked little dinky things in them, but nothing significant. They're going to be what they are, and we'll see what the CPs say in a little while once they get to those. I'm going to keep moving forward. Hopefully they'll be able to be like, oh wait, this is happening too early, or this doesn't jive with what happened previously. I don't know. It's bugging me. It's like it's almost there, but not quite. Then again, I might send it to them and they'll be like, oh my gosh, these are so good and I love them and there's literally nothing wrong with it. Do you ever do that? Have you ever sent something to someone and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is like not it. And they're like, no, this is it. It's so great. And then other times you send something and you're like, this is amazing. I did such a good job. And then they're like, I feel like I can never predict how something is gonna land. Just like with YouTube videos, I can never predict which ones are gonna like do really well and which ones are gonna like tank. I always get it wrong. Anyway, it's 1 o'clock. I need to eat something for lunch and then we'll come back and keep working. You know what it is. You know what it is. Now, it's not as fancy because I didn't have any spare veggies to put in it. I have veggies in the house, but there are like 4 other meals this week. So this is just rice with the seasonings and some eggs. Delicious. Chapter 15, here we go. I have a huge amount of notes for this chapter. Some research stuff. I have like, you could include this here, maybe this will fit. So I have to figure out portions of the story. There was one portion of the story where the heroine's like emotional wound, you get a part of it early enough where it's like, ooh, something happened there, but you don't quite know all the details. You never learn all the details. You never do in the first draft. So need to fit that in somewhere. This might be the chapter to do it. A little more description kind of stuff, a research question I need to figure out. Laryngitis was apparently not used at all until 1815. So I need to figure out what did they say in 1811. There's one element where I'm questioning, like, this kind of seems soon. Is it too soon for this? Maybe, maybe not. If not, you need to do something else with it because you kind of just drop it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, it's a long scene already. Oh my gosh, it's already 2,800, almost 2,900 words. I have a lot I need to add to make it make sense. So we'll see. It's okay if it's a little bit long. It's really like 2 scenes in one, 3 scenes in one. Maybe it would be better served as like multiple chapters. I don't know. Let's just look through the whole thing. Probably just gonna reread it and then try to tackle some of these notes. Okay, I'm honestly not all that far, but it's almost 3 o'clock. I'm getting tired. So I'm gonna, I think, just stop at least for the moment, probably for the rest of the day. I have a few other things I need to get to. This was a pretty good weekend. We definitely made progress. I wish I had been able to figure out those first 3 chapters a little more solid, but they're fine. They're fine for the moment. My goal for this coming week is to finish the chapters in Act 2. We'll see if I can do that and keep sending chapters to my critique partners as they are ready for new ones. I do think I'm going to end the vlog here because I don't plan to do a whole lot more for today. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, you can click the subscribe button. I post videos on Fridays. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you next time. Bye.